It's fine. All right, are you ready to start?
Yes.
Okay, so we're doing, ladies and gentlemen, Sidney Albrecht. How are you
Hi.
doing? Is your last name fully Albrecht? Or
No, it's Albrecht.
Albrecht? Okay.
Albrecht.
Albrecht.
It's German.
It's ghetto.
It's not.
No, just...
Do people call you Steven?
Steven? No, not... Well, sometimes just to be funny, but yeah, not in general.
Steven?
Steven McJoe.
What's your middle name?
Edward.
Steven Edward?
You know Steve McJones is not my real name, right?
I figured, but what is it?
My real name is Alec Edward Bolger.
Oh, because you said Alec fucking bald piece of shit, right?
Yeah.
I remember that. That had me dying in Horsham.
I didn't say bald piece of shit, but you know, you add
it
on
was like the
want.
same thing. I just remember that from Horsham.
Yeah, it's a good.
Are you doing Horsham?
I'm coming Friday. Logan said he
but
put
are
me
you
on
gonna,
a guest spot.
I was gonna say, are you doing a guest spot?
I hope so, and I'll just blow the roof off like I did last time. Hopefully.
Are you doing new jokes?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the ones that you saw last Tuesday that you guys laughed at a little bit.
Yes, I liked those.
Yeah, and then I'll probably still do the juvie joke because people love that.
The juvie jokes, because it's true.
It's fucking well, and so are the first two. You know what I mean? So it's like
going to college.
It kind of leads all in.
Being 5 years old, going to college.
Being in 5th grade.
5th grade.
Yeah, 12.
I told Logan this weekend I was 5 years old. I was like, he's 5. Yeah, that's a little older. He was like 5. I was like, yeah, I swear to God.
Jeez, yeah. No,
I'm going to hell.
Not that bad. It's fine. But
still
anyway,
not, still not great.
Sidney
Albrecht.
Okay.
Albrecht.
Sidney. We're here today because I want to know what the fascination is with women and true crime. What is the deal?
I'm not like a true crime.
Right. But listen.
But a lot of, it's white women. First of all, it's mostly a lot of white women love, not saying it's not also like, women of color, but a lot of white women just kind of like, because they love it. It's just like fascinating. I feel like, I don't know, I've always liked horror. Like my dad is obsessed with horror. Like we were like way too young to be watching horror movies, and my dad would make us sit by the TV and we'd watch. Like,
your dad would force you to watch.
Oh my gosh, I'm serious. Friday the 13th, Saw, Chucky, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
We had them all in like boxed DVD set, and my dad would make us watch it. And then after it was over, he'd turn the lights around and like chase us around the house and scare the fuck out of us all the time. And then people to this day are like, that's why you're traumatized. Like your dad would chase you.
This is true.
Like put my brothers in the basement and shut the door and like turn the lights out. Like
you did that?
My dad would do that.
Your dad? Sounds like a really cool guy.
No, my dad's He's
also probably the reason why you're kind of funny sometimes.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I take credit for myself, but no, he was obsessed with like horror movies even to this day. Like my dad, we'd be in elementary school, so I have 3 younger brothers, and we're all 2 years apart. Yeah. Except the twins, obviously they're twins. So
right.
We would all be in elementary school, at the same school, and my dad would show up to school like a Friday afternoon and be like, "Oh my God, there's a family emergency, like I need to take all my kids out, take us out." We'd be in the car so scared, and he'd go, "We're going to a horror movie." And then he'd pull out all of our friends too and call their parents, and their parents would give them permission. So my dad would pull out like 6 or 7 kids, and we'd all get in his van, and my dad would drive us to go see like Friday the 13th, Evil Dead, whatever, and he would take us to go see these movies. Like behind my mom's, I think behind.
Well,
yeah,
back. It's almost like he's compensating for a second family or something.
Oh, rough. No, it's okay. No other kids, stepkids, but no other kids. Right. But not great.
But anyways, that sounds very traumatizing. But I think it also. So I had a pretty early exposure to scary movies as well. I hung out with like these kids in my neighborhood that were like 2 years older than me.
Okay. So that's already bad.
Yeah. So by the time I was in like 6th grade, they were in like 8th grade.
They're showing you bad shit.
Oh yeah, we were watching Final Destination, Human Centipede.
Oh no. Okay. Not to interrupt. Any other movie, I have no problems with any movie. That movie, I almost threw the fuck up. I ran out of the room. I don't know what it was. Wow. That movie just makes me. Just the thought makes me. I can watch like blood, guts, murder, torture, but that. Sorry, keep going. That just scared me so bad. I can't do that.
But that's what I'm saying is though. I feel like after that era, we played like scary video games and everything too. Mm-hmm. Hotel 626. You ever play that one?
No.
It's a computer game. But anyways, but then by the time I reached like high school, everybody had like this thing where it was like fall and like Halloween, and they would want to go watch scary movies. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, this is not like phasing me at all.
Did it not scare you? You just didn't like it?
It didn't scare me because I was so traumatized by the things that I saw when I was a but but like creepypastas. That was also
Yeah, like
kind
you
of
were
the
telling me
same
about that, but
era.
I've never read into them.
Yeah. Well, so we were talking about Reddit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you were talking about how your TikTok feed.
Yeah, it has like I don't know I don't know what account it is, but they do like Reddit postings and like a soothing voice, and they read them to you while they play like a little video game in the background. And a lot of time it's like scary stories and stuff. Sometimes it's like sweet stuff, but they're so good I'll just scroll through the account. But I'm too lazy to go to the actual Reddit and read stories. But I heard they're scary.
Yeah. But that's the thing about Reddit. What we were saying about Reddit is that like it's so anonymous that like some of the stories seem
they're
like
real.
they could be
Anything
real.
is real. I'm gullible. If you show me any piece of proof or you just tell me, I'm gonna believe it.
Right.
Anything.
So so you just recently started listening to true crime.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I started a new job. And at my job, I listen to stuff all day long on my phone. I know. I just got AirPods, so I listen all day at work. And I used to listen to music, but I was like, bored of the same songs because I listened to the same like two things.
Yeah.
So I just scrolled upon a podcast, and I was like, all right, you know what? Like, let me put it on. And I put on episodes, and it was about missing people. But it's people who are never found. Like, there's no, like, ending. Like, it ends with, and if you ever spot her, please call the FBI hotline. And that's, like, I watch horror movies, and that's, one thing. But to, like, real women that are actually getting, like, trafficked and going missing, it's like, Jesus Christ. Like it could happen to anybody. And that's what's so scary because... like, that could be me. Like, I walk home alone from bars drunk, or, like, when I was dating, I would go out by myself and stuff on dates with people, and, like, it was just, like, that could happen. So I started listening to all of these, and at first it was fun. Like, it was scary.
At first it was kind of...
it's so fucked up because these are, like, missing kids. But, like, at first it was, like, exciting. I was like, oh.
Well, obviously they have a following. People listen to them.
No, they do, and
they
a
keep
lot of their
producing
moms or dads or, like, brothers, sisters, whatever, have accounts, like, find Jessica, find Sarah, find... if it's like little kids, like find, Ryan or whatever, and it's like the accounts for them, and they keep up with it 5, 6, 15 years later.
Yeah.
But I listened to them, and I was like, this is crazy. And then I started listening to like murder ones where people are actually getting murdered and they're finding the bodies. But then there's one called I Survived, and it's actual people who survived like kidnappings and tortures and whatever, and they tell their stories. I know your face is making me nervous to say any of this, but
no, it's fine. It's
like
scary.
the actual people like doing it, and it was just so crazy because it's like women who like this one woman was held in a box for like 7 days and like brutally tortured and everything like that, and she was just like in a coffin, and he kept her in there, and that was it. He'd make her play board games with him and stuff like that, and like
all right, that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, no, and she was like honestly like, I played the board games because I didn't want to sit in this fucking box. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I just was like, oh. And I started getting desensitized until a friend told me about one case. And it's a 2-parter, and they don't normally do 2-parters. And I listened to it, and I normally read into stuff. If they do, like, photos and stuff, I'll go on the websites and, like, look at the photos because I want to see.
Yeah.
That was too much.
It was a mistake.
Was, like, it's one of the worst cases ever recorded, ever. I mean, it was horrific. Like 50+ women where they're held for like 3 or 4 months and like horrific stuff. And yeah, and I was like, I read into it. She goes, why would you read into it? I said, because you've read into it. And she's like, not that case. And I was like, yeah, no shit. That was fucking terrifying. But there was a few weeks where all I did, and I work for 8-9 hours. So I'm at work just hitting play and letting 9 or 10 episodes just run through.
Yeah.
And then I go home and I play him for Logan, and Logan's like, I can't sleep. Like, you can't play these for me. And then now we're out, and I'm like, is that the girl? And he's like, it's not the girl. You're not going to find the missing girl because you listened to the podcast one time. And it was scary.
Is that the girl? That is terrifying.
Yeah. I just, when it's real, that's what's scary. Like, it's one thing to watch a movie, but to now, like, hear about real women, and then you see their photos, and like you see their families or cases from like 30. But what's cool is they do update it. So like they'll have a case. I read one, and a couple weeks later, it's like, oh, now they found the abandoned car that she lost from 10 years ago, and they're still having like DNA and stuff come up, and it's just crazy. Like it's
well, and that's like I don't understand why like there's so many people now. So I actually had a true crime phase too. It was back when like the serial killers were like a big thing.
Okay.
If you remember that era.
Yeah.
Was that like 2017, 18?
Yeah.
You know, when the Ted Bundy documentary, like, dude.
No, and everybody was like, "Oh, Ted's so hot," and it's like, "This guy's like horrible."
Yeah.
Like it was. Yep, I remember. Yep.
I have a fun picture to show you after this.
Okay.
But basically, yeah. After that, it was like honestly, they were like sexualizing these people, and I realized that women. Again, I didn't fully commit to. I didn't kill anybody, right? But women like I don't know, at that period in time,
like
they liked when I would be like, yeah, like when I would make a joke about like, yeah, you want to go on like a date and like maybe not come back or something, you know what I mean?
Okay, and you know what? You're so right. I feel like it's because it breaks attention. Like, you know who's not going to say that? The guy who's going to kidnap and kill you, probably.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, maybe not now because it happens so much. But like, when I would go on dates and stuff, a lot of men like would like not. I'd be like, "You're gonna kidnap me," and they'd be offended, and I'm like. That's a red flag if you're like, no, why the fuck would I do that? Like, now I'm a little nervous. Because, like, I need to be safe. And the fact that you're mad that I'm trying to be safe, because I was. If I would go on a date, I would take a picture of myself before I go and send it to my best friend. She knows what I'm wearing. I send the location. I send the ETA of everything. I send a photo of the man. I send his phone number.
Damn.
I send where we're going every step. And I go, if I don't answer every hour, or we had a safe word. If I text a safe word, call the police, send them my location right now.
Wow.
So I was super crazy about it because... Yeah. Like I said, like I was a single woman at the time, going on dates.
Right?
Like,
No, it's gotta be so scary, you know?
Yeah, like I was just going out all the time, and men would joke about that, and I don't know, maybe it's stupid, but I would feel better.
Really?
Like when guys would be like, oh, like, yeah, like I might kill you, and I'm like, okay. Like, I don't think he would do that if he was really trying to kill me, because I would be too cautious, and I think.
So men that actually want to kill people should just joke about it.
Yeah, like if you, because I would. You'd get away with it. Because I'd be like, oh, this guy's chill. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's probably fun.
Totally. Yeah, it's a weird thing to respond to. I don't know. I think I guess it's a green flag because they're joking about it.
It, like, lightens up and,
But I think the idea of just, like, I don't know. I think that women are very...
What are you trying to say but you can't say?
It's just like, I think women are messed up. That's what it comes down to.
I was going to say you're saying something mean about women.
In general,
Damn,
because...
Steve doesn't believe women deserve rights.
I hate women.
Steve beats women? What?
What? No.
Cut that out.
Cut that. No. But no, literally, like when they have like true crime in their bio, you know what I mean? Or like they like that's their main
They're
focus.
scary.
Dude, I went over to this girl's place recently because I do things sometimes. In this,
I'm shocked, but keep going. I don't believe it.
Wearing this shit, no.
She doesn't exist.
Right. She's from another school.
She's probably blackmailing you.
Yeah, probably. But we hung out, and then she was like, we were just talking about movies, and I'm like, oh, cool, she likes movies, and then she was like, yeah, and then I like the the Cube, or like the
I love Cube. I love Cube.
It is a good series, but just deep cut like horror movies, just like Saw. She
Saw's my favorite.
Yeah, Human Centipede. She saw those. Yeah, did you? You should watch those. Those are fun ones.
I've seen them. But I don't know.
All three?
No. After one, I was sick. That's a sick concept.
But it's so cool. The second.
I'd rather
one.
you shoot me. In the fucking head than put me into a human goddamn centipede. And if I am in the centipede, I better be first. I better be first. If I'm in the middle, oh my god, I'm going to try and strangle myself. And if at the end, it's still not great.
Yeah. End is not. Yeah, first is best, for sure.
First is best. End is second best. Middle is just... I'm going to kill myself if I'm in the second and third. Yeah. I don't know if you can say kill yourself, but... You
can say whatever you want.
Okay. I don't want to be, like, locked up. Like, I don't want...
Yeah, no. Well, I'll lock you up. It's fine. I'll kill you in the basement.
Yeah, well, you're safe now that you've said that.
Yeah,
now that you said, I'm like, I trust him.
I'm in the clear.
I like willingly came to your house too. Like I was just like, I'm going to Steve's, and then I just left, and he was like, it's in his room, and I was like, okay.
I think about that all the time. Where like I invite so many people on this podcast. How many people do you think
about all the people you killed that were supposed to be in your podcast, but you just killed them.
That's what one of my tweets was one time. Is just like, I'm a serial killer, and the thing that I take is like a podcast.
So you can listen to your victims?
Yeah, exactly, and I can listen back.
That's not a bad okay, that's like a bad concept, but like...
No, it's a good concept for a good serial killer.
It's very like 21st century.
Yeah.
Or 22nd, what is it? What are we in?
We're in the 21st century.
Okay.
Yeah, 21st
is it always the 21st century? Like...
Not forever, no.
Well, I don't know if 21st century meant like...
Until 2100. That's going to be the 22nd century.
That doesn't make any sense. Shouldn't we be in the 20th century?
No, because 100 is a century, so 2100.
But we're only at 2022, so we're not at 21 yet.
I don't think we should be talking about this.
I'm going to be honest, basic things confuse me.
Oh, yeah. It's because you're a woman.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm so sorry.
I should just probably be in the kitchen.
Yeah, probably.
If they had it your way. Honestly, we're just built to have kids, and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm glad you understand.
Yeah, there's people who think like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
What were we just talking about?
I don't know how you hate women and you probably...
No,
you kill people.
Yeah,
Your tweet.
Yeah, it was before the tweet, though. It was Human Centipede. Really cool concept, right? So, first one, really fucked up, right? Really gross, weird movie, right? Second movie is about a dude watching the first movie, becoming obsessed with it, and wanting to do the same thing.
These aren't real stories, are they?
No.
Right, well,
but the second one was so graphic, they only released it in black and white because it was so fucked up.
Oh my god.
Third movie, listen to this. Third movie.
Do I want to?
Same actors from the first and the second movie. They run a prison, like, a ward.
And they experiment
he's like
with
a
people?
warden. And they do it with 500 people, each one. It just gets bigger and bigger. It's pretty insane.
No, I'm good.
It's pretty
I'm
cool.
good on that.
Yeah, they're all pretty fucked up, but it's kind of fun. You know what I mean? You ever watch Rubber before?
Mm-mm.
It's like this scary movie about a tire that goes around killing people.
I just saw that. Actually, on the Fire Stick the other day, it came up and it said something I should watch, but I was like, this looks fucking dumb.
It was the stupidest
Is it
movie.
dumb?
Oh, it's so bad.
dumb.
Yeah, but it's kind of fun. You know what I mean?
No, I don't, because I'm not going to fucking watch that.
Oh, but I was like talking to this girl.
Oh, yeah.
And she was just like listing off all these fucked up movies. And she's like, yeah, I'm super into true crime and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point I was like,
that's a red flag.
she's going to kill him. Like, or she
knows
wants
how
me to
to.
kill.
She
Yeah.
can probably get away with it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and again, it's not an isolated case. Like, there's an obsession with, I've heard it on other podcasts about women. Like, I don't know. It's like something about.
Okay. So this like blew up recently because it's getting really big. And a lot of people are saying, the problem with it is that these are real cases, and a lot of the time, so the most likely person to get taken is like young black women, right? Like they're the most likely type of person to get like sex trafficked, kidnapped, whatever, because a lot of the time the police don't take people seriously, and whatever. So a lot of these cases are like young black women who are trafficked or things like that, or just like young women or kids or whatever. And white women use this a lot of the time, like I mentioned earlier, as like a leisure activity, and they like think it's a joke, even though these are real people's lives.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with it, and that's why it gets like a lot of hate, because it's like, this is someone's actual daughter, and like in the case too, they'll say like the police didn't help them, the police wouldn't file a police report, the police wouldn't do this, and it's like nobody helped like these mothers or whatever, and it's just like
so sad.
And I think okay, there's a difference between horror movies and true crime. Like I am a horror movie person, I'm not a true crime person. True crime is really real, so like I listened to it for like a week or two, and it like desensitized a little bit, because I'm hearing so many cases that I was like, oh, she was only beaten for 2 days. I'm like, that's nothing. But that's because I'm like, oh, well, this other one was kept for 6 months, 7 years. There's one where this one was kept for 8 years in a box, little tiny box for 8 years. Jesus. They made them raise their kids and everything. She was like kept, and then I'm like, that's horrible. But then I'm like, this girl's kept for like 3 hours. But like it's like, that's horrible too.
Yeah.
But horror movies are not real.
Horror movies.
For the most part.
Completely not.
So like Saw, I love Saw. Saw and Scream are my top two. My name is Sidney, the main character's name is Sidney in Scream.
Nice.
Those aren't real. So like I can joke about those because that's
true. Well, what do you think the attraction to those true crime podcasts is? Like, why do you think? It's
because it's like, I don't know, I'd say real drama. And I know it's hard, I know it's so bad to say drama because it's like somebody's life.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. It's real, like drama. It's like drama. At the end of the day, it's like, I want to know what's happening. I want to know what's going on. I want to know the details. And a lot of time they'll interview like the mom, and now you get to like hear like the mom crying about their kids, or like you get to see, they lay out all the evidence. So like these two girls did one, and I listened to that one for weeks, and they lay out everything. What she was wearing. Here's a photo of it. They'll put on their website. Where she was last seen. The boyfriend, the dad, the brother, the stepdad, everybody. They lay out every piece of evidence. So there's no like digging. Like I don't have to go online and look up and try and find everything, because they have everything for me.
It's all right there. That's crazy.
There's no digging.
I heard this theory that they liked listening to it because it was like, oh, this is where they messed up. Like, oh, I could have survived that. You know what I mean? Or I could have.
Oh, I would never. I would die. I got my cartilage pierced. So I have 1, 2, 3. My 3 holes in my ear, and then a cartilage. I have never sweat so much in my life. I was at the kiosk in the mall in front of everybody, and they were like 1, 2, 3, and I was like, and I'm sweating. And if my friends are like, dude, you're fucking like 18 years old. Like, are you kidding me? And I was like, I think I'm going to faint. And they were like, are you? It was so embarrassing. That hurt. Okay, number one, you have this?
Yeah.
Did you have it? This is hurt.
No,
this hurt.
I feel like it would hurt.
This hurt. I have huge tattoos, and they're little, tiny, little baby tattoos.
Yeah.
And they hurt so bad. And I'm like, the second a man
puts me
his
in a
hand
box.
up, oh, I'm going to die. And I'm like, my boyfriend yells at me, and I'm like, this is the end of the world. I'm like, this is the worst thing. I'm like, this is horrific, and he should be put in jail. Yeah. So like the second, I think I'm really smart, but I can't withstand torture.
Yeah. So you can like talk your way out of getting.
First of all, I'm not gonna shut the fuck up, and they're gonna beat the shit out of me until I'm unconscious because they're gonna be pissed, or they're gonna give me back. My mom would say that. You know how parents say when you're little, like, oh, they're gonna give you back a kidnapper. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. My mom would just only say it because she'd be like, you're so loud, you don't ever shut the fuck up. They're gonna give you back. Nobody's gonna want you because you just don't stop. Yeah. So that's just. Yeah. Like, could you handle it? Like, I can't handle torture.
Not at all, I don't think.
Unless it's, like, consensual.
I think you get used to it at some point, right? If you've been in a box for 7 days, what's another day?
Yeah, okay, well, it's 8 days. That's a lot of days. But if it's 7 years.
That's a lot.
But, like, no.
No, I went to juvie and I was a bitch about that whole thing, you know what I mean?
Did you fight anybody? Like, I don't want to ask you personal questions, but, like, did you fight at all?
No, I did not.
You never a boyfriend?
No.
I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, it was just group shower Saturdays. You gotta take it once a week.
That's kind of how we do that at my house anyway. Just kidding. If Logan's listening, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, but I mean, there was a moment where they, like, took me in and, like, it was the initial shock, and then they, like, literally had to undress you to make sure there's nothing on you. Like, look at you like
that's
that.
That's awful.
Yeah, and then like, the showers are literally just, like, the worst showers.
They're probably not hot.
They smell bad. Yeah, there's no temperature control. Mm-hmm. It's terrible. Yeah. So, like, that was, like, not even, like, I wasn't.
And you were young, too. It's not like you were, like. I mean, you're an adult, but you're not.
17, you know?
Yeah, you're not. You're a kid.
I could have been less of a bitch about it.
All right, no, you're a 17-year-old kid. 17's. When I was 17, I was like, oh my God, I'm an adult. And now that I'm about to be 24, I'm like, 17. It's a baby. Like, they're so young. Yeah, but, like, could you, like, if you were kidnapped, do you think that you could, like, withstand, like, beatings? Like, I couldn't.
I kind of want to test the theory. You want to beat me up?
I would love to beat the shit out of you. There's a few people I'd love to beat the fuck out of. Yeah. And it's no good reasons.
I wonder if. Wow, this is an interesting correlation.
What?
I wonder if guys, because I do have an innate, like, feeling that, like, how much, this is going to sound fucked up, but, like, how much fun it would be to just beat the shit out of somebody. You know
woman, though?
Not a woman.
But I hesitated a little bit. You could have lied to me and just said, no, a man.
No, yeah, not a woman.
Just, like, fight. Have you ever fought?
Well, gender is fluid, you know what I mean?
All right, got a point.
Yeah.
Have you ever fought?
Once, but that's the thing. It was like in the situation where it was like me and my friend just both wanted to fight somebody. You know,
so you fought. It was fun.
Yeah,
but you never been like a real. Like, I've never been in like a real fight. Like, I've never like I've had problems with like guys, but like people have always broken up.
Right.
Because men are okay with like hitting women. Like, I've had men at parties, like, because I run my mouth. You know, I don't. I'm a bitch.
This is true.
And when I'm drinking and a man, like, I used to go to like frat parties and like be mean to frat boys because. They're just like, I don't know, they're scary, and I wouldn't leave my drink around them, and like they would run their mouth, talk about women, so I would say stuff to them about like their privilege, and they used to get mad and be a bit, hold me back to their guy friends, and like they would say stuff where they'd be like, oh, like, you fucking bitch, like, you this, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, and like, men just like say that, and, like, that's the closest I've ever been, but like, I don't fight with women because nobody's ever hit me first. I mean, if they did, but like nobody's ever, like, it's always like one of those things where it's like,
Sidney, you look like a fighter. That's all I'm saying.
I know. I feel like I get that a lot, but that's just because I just don't get me wrong. If somebody like came at me,
I would love to.
to.
Yeah. Well, see, so
but you can't swing first.
True.
That's the problem.
So it's like, I wonder if my obsession with like fight stories
because you're a sociopath.
Yeah, but I wonder if it's the same way that it's like I get to envision myself like winning a situation.
You want to be the hero.
Yeah, whereas
I'm the hero in my mind.
Well, I wonder if like true crime, you know what I mean? If people want to be either the one that got away from that like escaped it, or like the one that like made it through that and they're like tough. Okay, you know what I mean? I think it's one thing if it's like like almost getting hurt, but like. When they say that about things where women have actually been like sexually assaulted and like brutalized and stuff like that, and they're like, well, like, I don't want to live with that. I have like an easily shaken mind.
I don't, like, just even if I got away, I still have to live with those memories. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need to be the hero that bad.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, like, people love to be the hero. Like, it's like firefighters firefighters a lot of the time, don't quote me on the statistics, like, don't burn me for this.
You're about to burn firefighters.
I know, I love
now?
firefighters, but they say statistically, like, they're the most likely to be, like, pyromaniacs and start fires, because a lot of them will start them and then go put them out to be heroes. It's like a very known thing. Like the hero,
right.
What is it, the hero effect?
Complex?
Yes, the hero complex.
Yeah.
Because they want that touch of fame, and I get it. I would love... Isn't that why you do comedy?
To be the
to
hero.
be like big, get attention, fame.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, that makes sense probably.
Or why else do you do it? To be funny? To learn to be funny?
Yeah, kind of.
Just kidding.
I don't know. There's different reasons, I think, for everybody. That's a different conversation, I would say. But
Yeah.
I think there is a hero complex to it, the attention thing and everything like that. But yeah, I don't want to get too far.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. Well, I mean, I think we've kind of covered most. I mean, the true crime thing is just a weird wave that it just baffles me.
It's big right now.
It's really big.
It's really big. I feel like that, especially on TikToks and stuff, because I do marketing. So like I do like a lot of marketing. So I'm supposed to always be on social media and like keeping up with trends and stuff.
Yeah.
I take a marketing class right now that's social media, strictly like TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But a trend right now on TikTok is a lot of women showing themselves Saturday nights, ordering pizza, getting snacks, ice cream, face masks, and then kicking their feet up and then watching true crime documentaries of like families being like killed. And they're just like, people are mad because they're like glorifying
murder.
Like the worst thing that could ever happen to like a family.
Yeah.
And I completely get why it doesn't seem super great, because it's like, oh, that's somebody's life, but
yeah,
it's also like it's a little exciting, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's just tough.
It's kind of what, I bet it dies out the same way. Like the serial killer thing is still kind of big, but it was the same way with that, where it was big for a little bit, and then people were like, you need to stop glorifying serial killers.
Do you remember the clown thing? I don't know when.
John Wayne. Oh, 2016.
Yes, and the clowns were everywhere.
October 2016.
I saw one.
I will never forget.
I saw one in Cherry Hill. I swear to God.
Really?
I swear to God. I'm
so for those of you who don't know, there was a phenomenon.
Oh yeah, little background.
Little background. There was a phenomena, October 2016.
Where knows the dates?
I know. Well,
you were one of the clowns.
I was one of the clowns, actually. It was like comes out. But no, it was like a big thing where there were just clowns popping up all over the
people
America.
dressed as clowns holding balloons, like not hurting anybody, but like chasing people. And like they'd stand in like the middle of like dark roads and stuff and like scare the fuck for like months. Yeah. Where was it?
I wonder if it was a promo for like It or something. I bet that's what
it's so good.
Out. Yeah, but
second one's
that was I mean, it was all over the country. People were doing it everywhere.
I was gonna ask.
Disney World, like just, like Ohio.
The happiest place on earth.
Yeah, but that was weird. But there's just weird, and people say that happens like once every few years.
I was so excited. Like, okay, I was by myself. I was driving down Kings Highway.
Shit, you got to see one?
Yeah, I was driving down Kings Highway by myself late at night. I wasn't drinking. I've never drank and then drove in the same day. Some say I'm a pussy.
Yeah, me neither.
No, but I really haven't, because I'm like, if I have one sip of wine at dinner, I'm like, I don't feel safe to. I'm crazy about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't fuck with that.
Good. Yeah,
but,
of course.
Never so it was really, because I don't want people to be like, oh, she's just drunk driving, seeing like ghosts and shit. But it was like the middle of the night. I was leaving somebody's house. It was in Cherry Hill. It was Kings Highway. And it came out of like the bushes right before like the church and like the Planned Parenthood and everything. And it like stepped out, and I was like, holy shit. And he was just standing there, like a hand up. I don't think he needed a balloon, but he was just standing there. And I like slowed down a little bit, and he just like followed me with his head. And I was like, oh my God. And I was so excited because I was like, he's in my car. I'm in my car. He can't get me.
Yeah.
So it was very cool to see, but not experience. But if I was like walking, I would have fucking shit myself.
Yeah.
Can you imagine seeing that?
Yeah, and that's a highlight of your life, it sounds like.
Yeah, it was so cool. I love like haunted houses. I love that shit.
Of almost getting killed.
But like, I was just out of like arm's length. Like, he couldn't get me.
Right.
My car was a piece of shit though. My car could have broken.
And you got to be one of the people that saw him. I never got to see one. I wanted to see one. I wanted to be one. I was one. I was kidding.
Yeah.
No, I was not. But that was a phenomenon. That was a weird time.
That was so like, that was a fever dream.
Yeah. I feel like that was the end of like the good era of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After 2016.
Everybody always says that because it was just fun, and like that's when everybody was like, we were all graduating and everything, and I met like my best friends at the time, and we were just out every day, like just like my girl group, and it was just like fun.
Yeah.
Not that now it's not fun.
Right. No, it's fine.
But
we're getting through it. But you know what's scary?
what?
The world collapsing.
Yeah.
That's what's scary.
It's hot as shit outside. Global warming is horrific. It's like 99 degrees every day. It was 83 degrees today and I was freezing.
Yeah.
I wore a jacket. I was freezing.
Yeah. But I think we covered most of what I wanted to. You know, it's just a fucked up
Probably
thing.
too much, but yeah,
Probably
too
a
much
little
human
too
centipede.
Yeah, a little. No, not enough.
I'm not
human
gonna sleep.
Not enough human centipede, but it's fine. Sydney, thanks for coming on to talk
Of
about
course.
this with me. And yeah, I'm excited about this.